Fixing the Brady Act, Strengthening State Gun Laws. The gun laws in the United States have become far too lax. We should strengthen, not loosen laws restricting the purchase of guns whose sole purpose is to kill other people. We should require training in using guns, keep guns out of the hands of mentally disturbed individuals, and restrict the number of bullets which can be purchased in a single transaction. My policy research focuses on the Brady Act, which is officially known as the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act. This act was passed in 1993 as an amendment to the Gun Control Act of 1968, which imposes a waiting period of up to 5 days for the purchase of a handgun and subjects purchasers to a background check during that period. However, through the establishment of the National Instant Criminal Background Checks in 1998, a background check can be conducted instantaneously. Although overall it's been quite successful in preventing prohibited persons from purchasing firearms, as of now the system remains somewhat ineffective, as several states have either not used the database or have infrequently updated the system with their state's records. To date, more than 20 states are not in compliance with this requirement. The goal of this policy topic web review is to provide several web-based sources that focus on the United States gun laws, more so in areas where they could be strengthened. The sources included below, and most found on the World Wide Web, are somewhat skewed, as they strongly support the strengthening of state gun laws. However, despite the tendency of the sources to lean one way, the National Rifle Association has a breadth of information of gun laws and perhaps brings forth the views of the gun-carrying individual. What I learned while researching this topic is that it's highly controversial, and whereas I could not find much sites that were against the strengthening or change of gun laws, the information found all had in common the federal government's handling this topic with kid gloves. I will start this review with some of the more interesting publications and articles found in light of the two most recent shootings in the United States, the Virginia Massacre and the Arizona shooting 2010. The first article is a Times article titled "The Tucson Tragedy: Fire Away" by Michael Grunwald. While it gives a synopsis of the shooting in Arizona, it spells out the debate over gun control and the issues behind it. Arizona, one of the 3 states that has allowed its citizens to carry concealed weapons without a permit, also allows its citizens to carry firearms in areas where alcohol is served, as long as they are not partaking in any alcoholic beverages. The article includes a discussion of the National Rifle Association's belief, "Your home is your castle," which in 25 states gives homeowners the right to shoot any individual who trespass on their property without the threat of prosecution. This article provides a little history of the Brady Bill, which was passed in 1993 and requires licensed gun dealers to perform background checks on all persons attempting to purchase firearms in an attempt to prevent individuals with criminal felony records and those that have mental illnesses from obtaining guns. However, although it has prevented a large percent of weapons from getting into the wrong hands, it shows inefficiencies in the laws that has allowed persons such as Jared Lawner, who was considered too dangerous to attend community college but was not too dangerous to buy a Glock. The next site is www.thirdway.org. This report by the Third Way Culture Project is one of the best sources of information out there on the slight inefficiencies in the National Instant Criminal Background Check system, which is the background database, which is monitored by the Federal Bureau of Investigations and the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. This report is done as a result of the Virginia Tech shootings, where Sung Hui Cho, the shooter, was able to pass the NICS background test only because important information in regards to mental instability was missing from the system. It continues on to discuss that states have been delinquent in providing the necessary information to the NICS database in order to work properly. Due to these inefficiencies, the report states, gaps allowed 3,215 criminals to obtain firearms. The next link is a New York Times article titled, "In Tucson, Guns Have a Broader Constituency." It relays that the state of Arizona has one of the most lenient gun laws in the United States. This opinion is given due to that not only does the state not require a permit to carry concealed weapons, but it allows workers to carry their guns to places of employment just as long as they keep their guns in locked vehicles. The article states that rather than states focusing on strengthening their obvious weak gun laws, they're focused on prohibiting the sale of high-capacity gun magazines. The next article is an article done by the New England Journal of Medicine. In August,